Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is the buy or sell 6th round ADP video. Yesterday's was the 5th, the day before was the 4th, the day before that was the 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and so on. So if you guys want to watch those other videos, go down onto my channel, click that subscribe button while you're down there so that you guys can get all the videos, so that you guys can win your championship. Because if you subscribe, I'm going to be giving you all the tips, tricks, how to win, how to draft well, and how to play well during the season. So that would mean a lot. So today is the buy or sell 6th round ADP video. Pretty much what that means is, will I buy or sell a player at the 6th round, or at the ADP they're currently given? ADP means average draft position. So at the 601, will I take a certain player? Will I draft them or not draft them? Pretty much draft means buy. Would I not draft them means sell, pretty much. So let's get into the video. So the 601 is Lamar Miller currently. Now, he was in yesterday's video. He was, I believe, the 512, and he was a buy. So obviously, yet again, he is a buy. I like Lamar Miller now. Lamar Miller's not a sexy pick. He's pretty safe. He's going to be scoring like 12, 13 points a game. He's never going to get 25 or 30. He's never going to win you a week, but he's always there scoring you a safety net of points. You always know he's going to score like 10 points because Houston is always scoring a lot of points. They have a pretty good offense. They've got Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, DeAndre Hopkins, Kiki Cootie, Lamar Miller, Dante Foreman. Now, a lot of people tell you that Dante Foreman is going to steal his job completely. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Dante Foreman is going to have more of a role than he's had in the past. Obviously, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, but I still think Lamar Miller is pretty safe in the 6th round, and I would definitely draft him. So at the 602, we have another person I've talked about before, I believe, Tyler Boyd. Actually, maybe I've not talked about Tyler Boyd before, but Tyler Boyd, yeah, I've talked about him on the channel. He's a wide receiver for not the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, he is going to be the number one for the first couple of weeks on the team because, like I said earlier, before AJ Green even got hurt, that I think AJ Green was going to eventually go down and Tyler Boyd would be the number one. And Tyler Boyd was dealing with pretty much, it was just Joe Mixon and him out there because Dalton was dealing with injuries. They didn't have AJ Green. They didn't have a good coach, and now they would have arguably a better coach. They don't have AJ Green still, but they have Joe Mixon. They've got Andy Dalton, who's just an okay quarterback that can get it done. He can throw Tyler Boyd the ball, and Tyler Boyd played great last year in a bunch of games. Pretty good in PPR. He's going to be getting the ball a lot these first couple of games without AJ Green, and then because he's probably going to be covered by the one corner, so he is obviously going to face some harder opponents. But once, and then even when AJ Green comes back, he'll play against the second best corner on the team or the third best corner on the team if they're mirroring him, and he should easily be getting a bunch of points. I really like Tyler Boyd this year, and I would definitely buy him at the 602 draft position. So at the 603, we have quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, Mr. Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, is a sell. Now you're thinking, Nick, why are you going to sell someone on the new up and coming offense? The quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, someone who played great last year as a rookie, looks to build upon it this year in 2019. Now, I have no problem if you want to take Baker Mayfield at the 603. But I personally like other quarterbacks going around his area slightly later. I like a lot more. So for that reason, I don't want to draft Baker Mayfield at this price. Now, Baker Mayfield, obviously, he can run. He's got the legs. He can throw. He's got great weapons around him. But I still would much rather just sell him and go someone slightly later that I believe could end up finishing better this season. So at the 604, we have Mr. Rashad Penny, running back of the Seattle Seahawks, second string, or for now that is. He's a buy. He could end up being the number one running back on Seattle this year because the Seahawks like running the ball a lot, right? You've seen it. You probably know that the Seahawks are a run heavy team. Russell Wilson throws the ball a bit. He throws it a decent amount of times, but they like running the ball, and they run the ball so much that I think they can probably keep up with two solid running backs that are usable in fantasy. If Rashad Penny becomes the starter, it'll probably be a 60-40 split between Penny and then Carson. If Carson is the starter, it's 60-40 or 50-50. It's going to be such a close split share. Now, Carson likely will be getting the touchdowns in a lot of games, but Carson has had injury problems in the past, and Penny was able to stay pretty healthy last season. So I think that Penny is going to be able to potentially overcome and become the one, or make it the split. Penny's skills show so much that even the split of him getting only 40% of the touches on the team won't matter. So for that reason, I'm in on Rashad Penny this season. At the 605, we have Alshon Jeffrey, Eagles wide receiver. He's a sell. Now I've never really liked Alshon Jeffrey in fantasy once he was on the Eagles. I don't really know what the Eagles are gonna do. On every game, they seem to play completely different. Like if Carson Wentz comes back this year and plays like Carson Wentz of his MVP caliber season before he tore his ACL, and Nick Foles came in and won them the Super Bowl, I think that Alshon Jeffrey could be pretty good. But I don't really like Alshon Jeffrey because I like a lot of receivers around this area, and I'd rather just avoid someone on an offense that I have a weird read on their passing game now. Just same reason, same thing with Carson Wentz that I'm going to explain later. At the 606, we have Mr. Hunter Henry, tight end, the LA Chargers. I always want to say San Diego Chargers, but that's okay. They're the LA Chargers now. And Hunter Henry is a buy, in my opinion. Now the reason why I like him is because he came off the injury last year now. I do like to avoid injury risks, but I think that he had enough time. He got hurt before the season even started. So now he has had a whole year. He's ready to go. He was a touchdown monster in seasons before. He's a big body. Antonio Gates isn't going to cut into too much of his work. Antonio Gates may not even be on the team right now. That's how little I care about Antonio Gates. I don't even know if he's on the team. Hunter Henry, he's going to be a red zone threat. He's going to be a threat on the field. And I think if Melvin Gordon is gone, Melvin Gordon was catching a lot of passes, just like Eckler does. But I think Hunter Henry is the safety net for Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers loves throwing it to the tight end. So I think that Hunter Henry is going to have quite a good year this year and is probably worth the 606 price. Getting your tight end one in the 6th round with a guy who is the caliber of being a top 5 guy, probably going to be a top 5 finisher in fantasy, pretty worth it. And is more consistent than a lot of other guys that go slightly later in like the 8th or ninth round. A lot more consistent, that is. So at the 607, we have Mr. DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore a lot, a lot, a lot. Now, I don't. The only thing that's concerning about DJ Moore is that he's on the Panthers, and the Panthers quarterback, Mr. Cameron Newton, is a bit injury prone. His shoulder is a bit fucked up. You know what I'm saying? His shoulder is constantly fucked. They've worked on it, I think, 2 years in a row, and it's just not going well for Cam's shoulder. Now, I don't know how good Will Greer is. I mean, he was in West Virginia. I don't watch very much college ball, so I don't know how great he is. But I do know that if Cam Newton is playing, and based on all the footage I've seen online during camp, I think DJ Moore is going to be a phenomenal receiver this year. I think that he's going to probably be the number one on the team. So you're getting a number one receiver on the team in the 6th round, whereas other guys around here like let's see, like Jarvis Landry or a guy like Tyler Boyd are not wide receiver ones on their given team all the time. Despite injury, that's what I mean, like without injury. So at the 608, we have Jarvis Landry, Cleveland Browns wide receiver. Now you're gonna be thinking, Nick, you sold Baker Mayfield. You better buy Jarvis Landry. You better want to draft Jarvis Landry at the 608. And you know what? You'd be completely wrong if that's what you were thinking. Because I don't like Jarvis Landry because there's so many mouths to feed in that offense. There's Chubb, Odell, Jarvis, Njoku. There's so many people on that team. And I think Jarvis will probably play pretty good this year, but I'm not willing to put my 6th round pick on Jarvis Landry. Now, do I hate him because the Dolphins got rid of him when he was our best receiver? Maybe that's one of the reasons why I hate him. Do I hate him because I bought his jersey and he got traded 3 days later? That could be a reason why I hate him. But I'm just kidding. That doesn't really affect my decision. I just don't really want to be all in on Jarvis when I like so many wide receivers in like the 5th, 6th, or 7th round that I don't want to lock myself into some guy that I don't truly believe in. And that's the reason why I don't truly believe in Jarvis Landry at this pick, and that's why I sell him. So at the 609, we got Mr. Tariq Cohen, running back, Chicago Bears. At the 609, I would not take Tariq Cohen. He is a sell. Now, the thing is, David Montgomery's coming in. Mr. Montgomery, he can also catch the ball, something Jordan Howard failed and failed and failed. He tried and tried and tried again, and he failed and failed and failed again. He failed so many fucking times that they said, get the fuck on a plane and get the fuck out of here. Sent him straight to the Eagles, where he will do nothing. Now, I think David Montgomery is going to take some of the passing work away. I don't think Tariq Cohen's going to be. He doesn't run the ball very much, so he's not much of a running back. He's like a James White light version. He is what Tariq Cohen wants to be James White. and he's just not that because I don't think that his usage will be as high as last year this season. Now he in like a best ball format, he's gonna have games where he scores 30 points probably or 20 points, but you don't know when that's gonna be. So in a redraft type of format, I don't know if I'm really gonna trust Tariq Cohen on a week in and week out basis. So for that reason, I'm just out on Tariq Cohen. At the 6'10, we have the second quarterback going in the 6th round, Mr. Matt Ryan, aka Matthew Ice of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I don't know how many times I've told you. If you're subscribed to this channel, you've probably heard this 3,000 times. Matt Ryan plays 13 out of 16 fantasy football games this season in a dome. All right? That means when he throws the ball, no wacky shit's going to happen where the wind takes the ball and sends it out of bounds. The wind takes the ball, sends it into the ground, overthrow. That doesn't happen when you're in a dome. Somehow. I don't know how it works. No, I'm just kidding. It's because there's no fucking wind in the stadium. So the ball is just going to be going right to the guys. Matt Ryan's going to be throwing dots to Mr. Julio Jones, to Mr. Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, dump it off to Devontae Freeman, dump it off to Ito Smith. And I think that he played so well last year at such a late draft pick. He was the quarterback 2 in a lot of formats. Number 1 was Mahomes. He was the number 2. And I think he could probably be that this year, but you're not paying that price. You're not paying the quarterback 2 price for Matt Ryan. You're paying the price of like a quarterback 6 or 7 or 8th or even ninth off the board. And in my opinion, I would really love to get Matt Ryan at the 6'10 for all of those reasons. I think that the Falcons this year are going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a better team than last year. And I really think that Matt Ryan is going to have a season like his MVP caliber season where he ultimately failed and choked against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Now at the 6th 11, we have Darrell Henderson, the Rams, number 2 running back. Number 2, number 1, who knows? Could end up being the number 1, and we are buying him because the fucking Todd Gurley, that motherfucker, his knee is so fucked. He has arthritis of the knee. You don't know what's going to happen. Sean McVay is spitting lies into our ears. He's sending us some fake news because he's telling us that Todd Gurley's going to be fine. He's going to play 75% of the snaps. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. They told us in the Super Bowl that he was going to fucking play. He didn't do shit in the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley could have won them the fucking Super Bowl if he wasn't hurt. Now, I think Darrell Henderson, you need him. If you're drafting Todd Gurley, if you somehow have the balls to draft him, you're sitting on your balls right now. They're on the ground right now. And you draft Todd Gurley, you need Darrell Henderson because if you don't have Darrell Henderson and Todd Gurley goes down or Todd Gurley can't play 1 week because his knee's fucked, then you are going to lose and you're going to regret drafting Todd Gurley. And that's why I don't even touch Todd Gurley. I'd rather not draft Todd Gurley. I would rather just draft Darrell Henderson in the 6th round. Maybe even the 7th round, because a lot of people don't know who he is. He's a rookie, and he could end up being someone who wins you your league strictly because Todd Gurley just can't do it for 16 games. Now, the only thing that worries me about Darrell Henderson is that say Todd Gurley's active and he plays a bunch, but he's not really getting it done. So they play Henderson, right? But if they're up by like a million, they'll just use Henderson. But if they're in a close nail biter game, they need a touchdown. Darrell Henderson is not going to go out there. They're going to slide Todd Gurley in because they know Todd Gurley, even at 50%, will fucking go right, jump over the offensive line or juke left, juke right, touchdown. Rams, they know that he can always score that touchdown. So that's the one thing that worries me. Now at the 6-12, we have Mr. Robbie Anderson, the Jets wideout, the number 1 wideout now on that team. Now I like Mr. Robbie Anderson at the 6-12. He's a buy. He's a wide receiver that I talk about like a reason why I don't like Jarvis Landry. I'd rather just get Robbie Anderson, in my opinion. Robbie Anderson is on a worse team, but the Jets are emerging this year with Sam Darnold coming onto his 2nd year in the NFL. They've got Le'Veon Bell. They've got Robbie Anderson. They got Quincy Enunwa. They've got a bunch of names that are mediocre, and the one name that is going to emerge out of the wide receiver core is Robbie Anderson. Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson were making great connections in the last couple of weeks of the season. Sam Darnold was looking like Tom Brady, throwing dimes to Mr. Robbie Anderson towards the end of the season. And I think that Robbie Anderson, this is his year where he's truly going to emerge and be a top 24 wide receiver. He's going to be a great wide receiver too, in my opinion. He's a great flex option because if you're drafting him the 6th round, he may end up being your flex, and he is such a good flex option, in my opinion, that is crazy that his ADP is this low. The reason why it's this low, I think, is because he's on the Jets. If he was on any other team, it would be a lot higher, like a guy like Mike Williams. So thank you guys all for watching this video. We got through the whole current ADP of the 6th round. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So thank you guys all for watching. Click that like button down below. Click that subscribe button so that you can get every single video. You want to win your championship, you click that subscribe button. And I want you to have a great goddamn day. So have a great goddamn day. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more uploads. See you guys. Goodbye.